Good morning everyone. Today I will tell about the ecosystem. Ecosystem is a structural and functional unit of biosphere. First proposed by the A.G. Townsley. So here there is a different type of ecosystems is there. So that means based on the living habitat there is a different type of ecosystem. So that means first of all I will tell about the biotic and abiotic components. So like biotic components like plants and animals, microorganisms, all type of microorganisms, like algae, fungi, bacteria. So like that, biotic components. There is a primary producers is there. So primary producers first. Primary producers. First producers. Producers are all plants known as primary producers because they are preparing their own food with the help of sunlight by the process of photosynthesis. Photo means light. Photo means light. Photosynthesis. Photo means light. So that's why they are preparing their food, presence of sunlight and taking carbon dioxide. So then taking carbon dioxide, then it's prepare the food like C6H12O6. That is the glucose or starch. They are preparing their own food. As well as it's release oxygen also. So that's why that is known as autotrophs. Auto means self. Autotrophs. Auto means self. Auto means here self. So self only they are preparing their food. So that's why they cannot depend dependent. They cannot depend other organisms. So they produce by own mechanism. So they produce the food by own mechanism. So that is the photosynthesis process. But means inside also there is a special organelles is there. That is the with the help of chloroplast. With the help of chloroplast, they are preparing their food own. So that means inside the chloroplast there is a chlorophyll pigment is there. Inside the chloroplast there is a chlorophyll pigment is there. So this inside the chloroplast there is a chlorophyll pigment is there. So inside the chlorophyll there is a magnesium element also present inside the chlorophyll. Magnesium present inside the chlorophyll. So that's why these chloroplasts sometimes contain different type of some blue-green algae like bacteria is also present inside the chloroplast. That is the small amount of chlorophyll is there. So that's why they are also preparing their own food. So that's why that is known as autotrophs. So here all plants and some blue-green algae. Blue-green algae, bacteria, blue-green algae, bacteria, also bacteria. So these blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, another name also blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. Here also cyanobacteria also is there. So these cyanobacteria also they are preparing their food own. So that's why that is known as producers. All plants they has all plants, it has own food mechanism is there. So that is known as universal producers. That is known as universal producers. Then another one also heterotrophs. Another one is heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means they are depend on other organisms. So heterotrophs are primary consumers. Another name also primary consumers. So there is a heterotrophs means they are depend on other organisms. So like all type of uh, all type of animals also depend on plants for food and shelter. So that's why that is known as heterotrophs. So all animals. So next one, these heterotrophs also based on the food consuming. Based on food consuming, there are different type of macro and micro. Macro consumers also is there. Micro consumers also is there. So here macro consumers and micro consumers. Macro means macro consumers and micro consumers. Macro consumers means there is a different type of consumers is there. First herbivores. Herbivores means which are consuming plant products only. That is known as herbivores. Which are eating flesh or meat. So which are consuming flesh or meat. So those type of organisms known as carnivores, which are consuming both means plant products and as well as animal products. So that's why that is known as omnivores. So all human beings, especially related to human beings. So like herbivores are goat, cow, like that. Next to carnivores are lion, fox, like that. So here these macro consumers also, they are primary consumers. Primary consumers also is there. So primary consumers. Primary consumers. So primary consumers, first one is grass. Grass is the producers. So primary consumers is goat or cow. Goat. Next another one. Goat, cow, like that. Then secondary consumers. Secondary consumers. Secondary consumers which are eaten. So that means secondary consumers, wolf. So wolf, goat is eaten by wolf. So that's why secondary consumers. Primary goat is primary consumers. So grass only, grass eaten by goat, goat eaten by wolf. Secondary consumers. Next, wolf also eaten by lion. So that is the tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers. So tertiary consumers is the lion. So these all things also related to the food chain. So if you observe, this is known as food chain. So grass is there. So grass eaten by insect. So insect also eaten by frog. Frog also eaten by eaten by snake. So this is the food chain. So one food chain is there. Next one is this is the food chain. Next one is food web. Food chain. So many food chains present in one ecosystem, that is the food web. Food web. That means here also same, grass also depend insects. So grass is eaten by cow. Next, cow also eaten by lion. Next, these all things also related to food web. This is the basic thing. Another one also is there, that is the saprophytes. Saprophytes means which are depending on, which are saprophytes or which are dependent, dependent or another organism. That means saprophytes are living dead and decaying matter. So dead and decaying matter. So dead and decaying matter. So that is the saprophytes which are consuming nutrients from dead and decaying matter by the process of absorbing. By the process of absorbing. So that's why that is known as saprophytes. Like some different type of fungi and different type of molds. So these are example of saprophytes. So another one also is there, that is the detritivores. So dead trees. Or another one is microarthropods. So microarthropods means there is some Daphnia like Daphnia. Next Cyclops. Daphnia and Cyclops also is there. So these Daphnia and Cyclops, they are present inside the soil. So they are eating the soil, eating the soil. So yeah, they are taking inside the soil. Then only cut and crush it inside their digestive system. So cut into bigger pieces, cut into small pieces. Then only it will send their digestive process. So that's why that is the microarthropods. So microarthropods also, it's very important fact, important microorganisms present inside the soil. That is the Daphnia and Cyclops. So these are related to that is detritus or detritus nutrification, also another name, detritus nutrification. But this ecosystem is very important in nature. So very important in nature means it's automatically recover and automatically it's form a homeostatics for formation. So it form homeostatic for formation. Homeostatic for formations means, homeostatics means it's maintain the pH balance. So it's maintained inside if any floods or if any emergency, that means if any disasters occurs in our nature, so that time they will be automatically balance their system. So that is the basic thing of ecosystem. So that's why that is known as homeostatics. Homeostatics. Then this ecosystem, it gives the provision of food. It gives the food, fuel, biofuel. So everything it gives us. It's maintain the balance of our environment. So that means if extreme hot, extreme cold, so these all things also related to our environment, our ecosystem. This ecosystem, it's automatically balanced, automatically regulation our environment, regulation our winds. So it's prevent the different type of floods, different type of drought. It's prevent the different type of natural disasters. It's prevent by the especially ecosystem like forest. Forest is wonderful ecosystem. So that's why it's provide food and shelter and it's prevent and it's detoxification. So detoxification by the atmosphere, it will automatically change by the atmosphere. So extreme winds, extreme cold. So extreme natural gases, it gives us extreme natural gases like oxygen. So these all things also related to our ecosystem. So then this ecosystem also generally there is a artificial ecosystem and as well as Natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. Ecosystem are two types. That is natural ecosystem. Ecosystem is two types. That is the natural ecosystem. Here is artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem, artificial ecosystem. Natural ecosystem also, it can be divided into terrestrial ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem and forest ecosystem. So terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. Sorry, two types. Aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem also, it can be divided into grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem and desert ecosystem. So ecosystem can be divided into two types, that is the terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial also divided into three, that is the grassland ecosystem and forest ecosystem and desert ecosystem. Then here also aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem also, it can be divided into three, that is the marine freshwater ecosystem, and marine ecosystem and saline ecosystem. So terrestrial ecosystem especially based on grasslands or different type of grasses. Next forest, about the forest. Then desert, about the desert ecosystem. So there is a different type of climate also is there. So different type of climates also balanced by our ecosystem. That is the special thing of ecosystem. As well as aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem also, freshwater ecosystem is there and saline or marine water ecosystem also is there. So that's why these total ecosystems also, tomorrow I will discuss detailed explanation. Thank you.